everyone, we're going to simplify 2 tan of 30 degrees divided by 1 plus tan squared of 30 degrees. Now, I'm going to do this one two ways. The first way I'm going to do it is I'm going to assume that you're just learning trigonometry, and I'm going to give you some hints about this, and maybe you're having problems with just the algebra. And then the second way, I'm going to do it in a way I'm going to assume that you know a little bit more about trigonometry. So if you're new to trigonometry, I don't want you to get confused with the second part. So we're going to do the new to trigonometry part first. So first of all, we need to know what tan of 30 degrees is. So if I'm looking at, I'm going to try to give you some hints on this. If I'm looking at the quadrant 1, and here's your 30 degrees, say, and I draw the triangle, I always know this longer side, whatever it is, the longer side is square root of 3 divided by 2, and the shorter side is 1/2. Now, tan of an angle is your y divided by x. So it's just going to be 1/2. So this is 30 on this one. 1/2 divided by square root of 3 divided by 2. So tan of 30 is 1 divided by square root of 3. Now, if you have to rationalize the denominator, you just multiply this by 1, which is square root of 3 over square root of 3. That's going to give you square root of 3 divided by 3. All right. The hint I want to give you on this is this. When you first learn trigonometry, the main trig ratios you need to know are sine, cosine, and tan. Now, the main ones for cosine, we'll do plus and minus, are 1/2, square root of 3 divided by 2, square root of 2 divided by 2, and 0 and 1. Squeeze that in there. All right, but we're not doing that. But those are pretty easy because they're the most common. Tan, they're pretty easy too. It's 1, 0, and undefined. The two other numbers you need to know are square root of 3 divided by 3, and square root of 3. So these two you need to memorize, so you're not always having to draw this triangle. Okay, so let's fill this in. We have 2. Now tan of 30 is square root of 3 divided by 3. And then you have 1 plus, and remember tan squared of 30 is the same as tan of 30 degrees squared. So we're just going to take this and square it. All right. Now I'm going to do this part separate. So when you square that, that's just going to be 3 divided by 9, which equals 1/3. So we get 2 square root of 3 divided by 3, and then 1 plus 1/3. And this is going to happen again. Again, if you're new to trigonometry, you're going to keep getting these ones where you have to simplify the fraction. And you just use your common denominator here, and I just write it over like that. Makes it a little easier. So basically we have 2 square root of 3 divided by 3 divided by 4/3. And you cancel out the denominators. 2 goes into 4 2 times, so the answer is square root of 3 divided by 2. All right, so that's if you're new to it. Just remember on tangent, make sure you know the square root of 3 over 3. And if it was 60 degrees, then tan of 60 is just square root of 3. Sine and cosine, the more you use it, it's going to be pretty easy for you. All right. If you're a little more advanced in trigonometry, then you've seen this before. This basically is the circle. It's like saying y squared plus x squared equals 1, and that would be for your unit circle. So if you divide each of these trig functions by cosine, you'll get this. So another easy way to do this is we're going to write 2 tan of 30 degrees, but 1 plus tan squared of 30 is the same as secant. And the reason I wanted to do this one is to also give you another trick. Like I said before, you need to know sine, cosine, and tan. All right, I'll just put x here. All right, so the other ones are cosecant, which is 1 over sine, secant, which is the one we're doing, which is 1 over cosine, and cotan, which is 1 divided by tan. All right, but we have secant, and when it's squared, so all you have to do is square this. So if you already know what cosine of 30 is, so we already should know cosine of 30 is square root of 3 divided by 2. So secant of 30 is just 2 divided by square root of 3. You just flip it. So that's why you mainly need to know those, because all you have to do is flip them. So let's do this again. We have 2 tan of 30 is square root of 3 divided by 3. And secant is 2 divided by square root of 3. And then you square it. Of course, in your teacher's going to make you rationalize that. So if you rationalize that, you just get 2 square root of 3 over 3. But it's not necessary for what we're doing. These two are the same. All right. Let's simplify this. We get, let's do this one first. That's just going to be 4 divided by 3. And this is 2 square root of 3 divided by 3. These cancel, and we get the same thing we got before. 2 goes into 4 2 times, so your answer is square root of 3 divided by 2. So I hope I didn't confuse you with this part. But this is where you're going the more you learn about trigonometry. Take care and have a nice day. Bye-bye.